images shape our perceptions of others? How do these images reflect or inform our relationship with violence? And why is it so easy for us to tear each other down as performers? Why do we fight over dysfunctional relationships? That's Stevie J. Please fight. He's so weird. Okay. And why is Black Girl Pain so entertaining? Why do we watch it so much, and why don't we challenge it more? Are degrading, disrespectful, destructive relationships with sisters so commonplace that it seems normal? Well, it's no big deal. Is it comfort food TV? Because it makes you feel good, makes you feel less guilty, makes you forget about your own pain for a little while. Can you relate to the rage? And why do sisters rage against each other rather than the actual predators and policies that really damage us? Why is our anger so lazy? Why don't we make it work harder for us? Why don't we direct our anger and make it do something? Why do these images, what do these images say about how we value ourselves and each other? Are Black girls so undervalued that emotionally exploiting them is not at all shocking? And what about our children? What does this do to their perceptions of who they want to be? Are they worthy of friendship? Are they worthy of love? Are they worthy of protection? Is it simply easier for us to hurt those closest to us? Right? You're my sister, you're right here. I most identify with you. So is it easier for me to just go at you? Like, is it easier to feel anger than to feel hurt? And what's interesting about this is I feel like there's a particular hurt that only Black women can do to each other, and there's a particular healing that only Black women can do for each other. Okay. So what we have here is we need each other to get out of this. But what we're doing is regularly seeing each other. Like, nobody can hurt a Black girl like a Black girl. Because we know it, and we know how to size each other up. We know how to like look somebody like read quickly and perfectly. And if you're not perfect, and I gotta do that first before you attack me, right? Like, I've gotta look at you, tear you down, find something wrong. As perfect as this sister walked in, she was beautiful. This sister, I can find something wrong in a second and zero in on that and expand that and have a whole table full of girls talking about it. You can walk into a restaurant looking as fine as you want. We're gonna find one chip on your toenails, and that's gonna be the conversation. Why do we do that so well? Like, is it like I'm gonna get you first before you get to me? And it's so what is it? And is everybody okay with this? Like, is it cool? Like, you're here, so obviously something is happening somewhere. And I'm so glad, brothers, thank you for coming. Because it's also really, really, really interesting and critical what this is doing to our relationships with you. And also how y'all are feeling. Like, it ain't like just like watching basketball, like when my man's watching basketball forever. You know, like, I'll go. Like, when this, and there's the war of basketball, that does something to the household. But this also does something to the household. Even if you're not watching, you're hearing this fighting. What is that doing to y'all? He's like, oh. What is that doing to us? And is it furthering our lack of ability to create relationship? Because everybody's getting it hit on the show. But who's having a relationship? And how can men get in that Black girl rage? It is a firewall to love. Like, because a Black girl rage is it's powerful. It will keep everybody away. Shut it all down. So actually, I'm gonna start with you. So I threw out a bunch of questions, but this is really now. This is the community conversation. I'm really interested in just hearing, like, what's going on.
did throw out a lot of questions.
Oh, wait a minute, oh, wait a minute, sorry, I didn't do my housekeeping. So if we're gonna talk about this on social media, which please do, because we wanted to get brought, here are the official hashtags. Matthew, Barry the Ratchet, GSUAAS, that's my Twitter handle, that's Georgia State's Twitter handle. And whose is that?
The campus.
That's the campus, okay, so if you all can, see that, all right, sorry, I was supposed to do that in the beginning.
Okay. Sure. My name is Brendan, by the way. Y'all did. I think what stood out, one of the questions that stood out is destructive relationships common? And I think I'm dealing with it right now. I have a girlfriend, and she's going through it with her girlfriends, and they're at each other's throats. And now they're coming to me like, oh, I don't like what she's doing, and I feel like, as far as men, we don't operate the same way. Like, I can very much be mad at my homeboy, and the next day we be cool, we're playing basketball. But for some reason, I think that show and different shows does kind of perpetuate something that's going on, but I think it makes women in general, black women, it just doesn't present the right thing. So I think it is present, it is something that is common, but I think as far as them being the first black women that are on TV, they should be having more harmony, but.
How do you deal with it? Because there is something about women in general, black women in particular, looking for allies in their pain. Like I said, we could be having drinks, and I want all of y'all to get with me about tearing her down. And then I'm gonna take this home and get what you were talking about. Keisha did, like, you don't hear Keisha at all. And there's something about women, sisters, they don't hear us, they don't care.
Yeah.
And particularly if it's over, nothing, how are you dealing with it?
I think now is I kind of try to give her a perspective that instead of like picking out every little thing that a friend is doing wrong, like you might be the only person that's going to be able to help her with it. So if you love her as a friend, then you should be trying to like work with her situations, because we all have problems, you know. And so I try to push more. All right, like you need to help your friend out. I know you're mad, but you're the only person that could be there for her, you know, in that way. And so I think that's what I want to see more on in media is like, man, like, why are we talking about it like that? Like, okay, if her nails are chipped, like, why don't we help her to get her nails done? Whatever the case may be, but why is it never that? Like, why are we never?
And be clear, television is a whole other animal. And people might want to say, you know, and I work in television, I know, you know, when we do a documentary, how many people watch, and when you do something else, how many people watch. And not to say that we need to have positive TV, because that can be, particularly in reality, it can be boring, right? And scripted is a different thing, because I thought, you know, Cosby Show, Different World, that was positive, but it was totally entertaining, it was great. And scripted is very expensive, and that's why a lot of people don't do it. But what's important that what you said was this idea of encouraging her, having some compassion, and also finding out what's good and elevating that. Like, it's a turning of a switch. We can find out what is wrong with the sisters. So, and the more sort of beautiful they are, the more we hate them. On some stuff they didn't have anything to do with. She didn't, you know, like that's what's also really diabolical. A word that keeps coming up, but you know, the sister comes in, she's got all that gorgeous hair. We will hate her for her hair. She can make her hair. You know what I mean? Or her skin tone. Like, I can't do well, I can do some things about it, but it doesn't work. And it looks crazy, like Jersey Shore. But the thing is that we have We have been fighting over things that also we don't have any control over. And that's crazy. So that means we can never get out. We can, so I'm very interested in us getting out. And, you know, brother started off with saying, you know, that we're in the struggle. I was talking to sisters last night. I'm very interested in this generation getting into the strategy. Like, let's get out. Let's get out. Anybody else? Do you still have that stuff? Oh, I don't have to. Hi.
Hello, everyone. I think one of the things that made a really bad point and made me think about myself. You have to admit, I'm a black woman, that I'm doing this all. It takes me a long time to get up to bed. When I get in front of the mirror, I'm doing this and that. How do I look at every angle? And I have to start thinking, somebody else probably doing that too.
Raise your hand and I'll do that.
Okay. Is my hair right? Okay. What they gonna say when I stand up to speak?
Right.
And so I constantly think about it, but I'm also so quick to read someone. I can shade for God, you know. And that's not something that you should be proud of,
Right.
but that's something that for some reason in my group of friends, oh, she bad. Oh, I can tell you something she don't have. And then we think about how we are the ones too who spend those many hours trying to get it together too, instead of saying, well, you got that going on. Right. I can help you with what you're lacking.
Right.
It's becoming more evident. I'm a teacher sometimes when I'm good at it, I'll claim it.
Right.
And other times I'm a network company in Dallas, and it's all black women. It's the hardest thing to get a room full of black women together to say, I can help you do something. It's so competitive. It's on to, oh, you're doing that? Well, I'm doing that. Good luck. And it's because you can't admit that I'm insecure, I don't have it together, and I need help, and this is hard. Like, this race is completely hard.
And you know, amen to that, because what you just said is true. Like, we are all so, the thing that I don't want to do is be imperfect in front of you. Like, and it's inside out love. I relate to you, you're my sister. So if I'm coming to you and I'm bringing my insecurity, it is much easier for me to come with you with fight than with my vulnerability, right? That's what I was saying the question before. It's so much easier to be angry than to be hurt and scared. But if we don't, if I can't be hurt and scared with you, who am I going to be hurt and scared with? And so I'll never heal. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, we are standing on shoulders of people that has some real shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, who couldn't move in the world. And here we are, we got universities, we got fly haircuts, we got jobs. This is not our legacy. This is not what we're supposed to do. Like, but we can change that. We've changed a lot. We've changed some things harder than this. We're still here, right? So we can change it, but it takes us committed to that. And it's a flip of the switch, because it is just, because there is something entertaining. The Twitter show during these shows, to me, is more entertaining than the shows themselves. There are some witty sisters on Twitter, like comedians. Look at all this comedic talent. What did it take? She's like, I got shades for the gods. So there's a part of it that is fun, no doubt. But I'm talking about when it turns vicious. We can have fun, because look at what we can do with language. Look at what we can do with our hair. Look what we can do things. And also, it feels so good for me to go, you look fly. Like her hair is bumping, right? Right? See? And it just feels good. That feels so much better, because I feel nasty when I do. Like, it's like a nasty taste when I do that. When I go, it's like,
Because I'm constantly thinking about it's something on me that I'm not happy with.
right.
And she hasn't together.
And you know who does? Nobody's got, like, Oprah got oatmeal. Let's be clear, right? You know what I mean? And this pursuit of perfection is killing us. So thank you for that. And now you got something new to do, right? Look at her face. I believe in you. Somebody was right here.
Well, my name is Sadia, and I just wanted to piggyback off of what this woman just said. I feel like what is going on is that we aren't valuing the right thing. Like just how we all said her hair is fly, this, that, and third, but she was in college, and she's probably attending a degree, and I think a lot of us put that emphasis on the outward appearance
Yeah.
instead of what we are really doing. And for a lot of Black people currently in college, where we are striving to attain our education for reasons that have nothing to do with our clothes, to be quite frank, I think that we could really stop and ask ourselves, like, what is it that we are really trying to attain? We are not trying to attain these shoes and these bags. Like, that's never going to make any of us happy. Like, if once you get all of that, you're still gonna feel the exact same way. Even once you are that fly chick in the room with her hair done and her toenails have no chips on it, you are still not gonna feel like that, because I feel the reason is that we constantly understand that we are not giving back to our people and teaching them and having that switch in their mind go off to let them know that it's okay that you care about your appearance, obviously, but that can't be your main focus all the time. And for African Americans, I feel like the reason why it is our focus is because for so long we were not allowed to have this fly stuff, to walk around and present ourselves in this pish-posh type of way. And so now that we can, it's like that's all we are consuming ourselves with, and we've lost like a big part of what makes us who we are. It's this soul quality of us. It's the ability that we can look at our sister and go, I see the struggle or the journey that you are in, and let me help you attain whatever goal you're trying to reach.
You know, it's really all about, I think it's about balance too, because it's developing, but like, I don't think it has to be either or, right? Because I love my shoes. But I've worked really hard for them, right? And so then I can also walk in them with a sense of esteem. And that's, you know, what's really difficult is to communicate what self-esteem feels like.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to communicate the rewards of respect because red bottoms are so flashy, but also there's something about it that is beautiful about us too. It is deeply African. Like, we adorn ourselves better with more flair and creativity than anybody, or people of color in general, right? So there's a part of that's in our DNA, that we adorn, that we tag, that we pierce, that we wear colors. Like, that's something, because you can't take our bodies away. And see, that's really, I think, also significant, is that we have been policed and contained. But you can't contain my hair. I got power over my hair, I got power over my outfit, so it's this misdirected, too much focus on that power and not the, and to be really honest, someone walks in, I don't know that you're a teacher and that you're pursuing a degree, so how we present really is real in terms of how we enter each other, so I don't want to.
But it's not the most important, is my point.
Absolutely.
You can probably afford those shoes, and just like how you say, a lot of those hip hoppers cannot afford those shoes, and they still put on a front as though.
And they got girls on the street tricking for red bottoms.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
problem
Someone, there was a brother back here? Was there someone with his hair? Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Grace too.
Grace.
Yeah. I'm a adult student who graduated here from Georgia State last May in history. And thank you. And I just wanted to, I came out for this because I wanted to hear what was being said about the Mad Free. I want to piggyback off what you were saying with regard to we're not really valuing who we are inside our minds. Because although we don't have much control over a lot of things, but within our heads, we control that. And I think that it's really kind of important that we and I'm not trying to take away from what's going on in Hollywood, but I do think that it's kind of important that we really be mindful about what we put in our own heads and what we watch on television and what we give support to. Because I did watch the show a couple of times, but I was just like, I'm not watching this mess. I'm not watching it. It doesn't make me feel good. Like you said, it makes you feel bad, it makes you angry. And it's not positive, and it's not the whole image of what we're about. There's so many other sisters who are not about that at all. But we're not getting that kind of play. But as long as we subscribe to these shows and watch them and support them, then that's what we're going to keep getting. So I think that we need to really be mindful and do our best to sort of personal boycotts within our own friends, amongst our friends. So instead of us saying, okay, y'all want to watch that, I don't want to watch that. I'm not watching that. I'm going to get all my girls not to watch that. I just think that just like we support certain things altogether, we should not support certain things altogether. Because I don't think it's not valid. It's not for us. It's some people in Hollywood that say, how many AFAMs can I get? And that's what they call us, AFAMs. What can we get? What can we get them to do? How wild can we get them to behave? It's almost like, and I wonder, did a lot of these shows come up after we got Michelle Obama in?
Well, I mean, I think that the real jump off was New York and Flavor of Love.
Right, that was, okay, that was.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and she was like the breakout star of ever mama.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
look, oh my God, like.
Yes, they so wild.
They're so wild, and then I think about New York a lot. Where's New York? Where's her spirit? Where's her dignity? Is someone paying her $300 to come to some sleazy club that's in the corner and be New York? Like, where is she? And so that was sort of the beginning, and then they got hip to like, oh, sisters turn up. Whatever we do, we turn up. You let us in the basket in the NBA, we change the game. You let us in baseball, we change the game. There's something about blackness that can elevate. But in this sense, it's our anger, black girl anger. Audrey Lorde wrote a lot about this. And the Eye to Eye essay is amazing about our anger and how some of it, it's in our core. And we have systemic reasons. We have been, like I said earlier, humiliated, ignored, degraded from birth. So we keep stuffing that, and not so, maybe not so much generation, but that goes somewhere. And then someone pays you to activate it, and then another sister activates it, and y'all got pain and anger way beyond any housewife in LA. They don't know black girl pain. So if anger and fighting becomes an entertainment, we're the champs. Right? But we're not winning anything.
No, we're not.
We don't get a belt. We got CJ. Like,
You want to try it.
right? So if we're gonna fight, like let's go. And I think that some people really realize how explosive our pain is, how explosive our anger. Like we can break out and fight very. You don't even really have to give us that many red cups. Like we just mad on some old. And this is interesting to me. I'm gonna pass it to everybody. Do you think that there's something to that? Like finally, like we've been angry for generations, right? So finally, now we can express it in its fullness. Like, do you think that there's something to that? Like, I don't know. I mean, you don't have to answer that question, please.
Yes, hello. My name is Wilson Pierre. In regards to when you said it's hard for a brother to love a black woman,
I didn't say that.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong.
But let's be clear. I said it's hard for a brother to enter black girl rage.
Yes,
Big
yes.
difference.
Yes, it's
Okay.
in regards to that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my black sisters. But talking about the anger side of it, I understand that we're talking about black women have a lot of anger, but it's how small and easy it is to trigger those anger issues. And well, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a little hard. For example, out of personal experience, let's say you go out to dinner with your girlfriend or somebody you see, and you're having a good time, and then they will start picking a fight over something as simple as, oh, did you see how she just looked at me, talking about either the waitress or something like that, or she's not paying attention to me, or she just walked by me and she didn't ask me for nothing, and I'm like, I don't think that's what it was. And when I try to handle it by either example and show that there was nothing really going on, or trying to, like you said, trying to bring the better side of the person and say, don't look at it this way. Maybe she had a hard day at work. She didn't mean it, to pass and not look at you. You just be the sensitive one or the compassionate one, and ask politely, because the person might be very tired. You don't know how long they've been working, and try to bring that side of the person out, and then it becomes on you. And it's like, oh, you don't have my back. You see what I'm saying? It's very. That's when I'm saying, like, it's kind of difficult. And as a brother, I'm saying it's like, depending on the person, there's so much you can take of that.
Look,
You see what I'm saying?
this mother is like, where are you from?
I'm from Haiti.
Right. So here's the thing. To be real, if I was from Haiti or some other place and I'm watching TV, I'm like, I don't know if I'm messing with Black American girls. For real, like, I can see how scared, like, because if I don't see any other way of who you really are versus actresses, I feel you. Do you all talk to each other? Like, do you talk to your friends about, like, but you? Yeah. No, I mean, it must be very difficult to navigate, because these are your sisters, right? These are your women, and they are angry at everything. And we are driving our relationships away. We are driving our men away. And then you see somebody walking down the street with an Asian girl or a white girl, they And after a while, it's like, how many bruises can any of us take? We get so hard that every response is like that. And then when it's really time to fight, like, when do you know what's real? Like, what's really?
My name is Daniel Fitz. Yeah, we talk about it a lot.
She got a t-shirt on that says Black and Single, just so you know where you're going.
Right. That's a shameless plug. Black and Single TV at YouTube. But anyway, like, I just got back into a relationship, and prior to that I was single, and I was with a girl that I was very accepting of. Very, very, very accepting of. Just things just to be in a relationship. So then, at that point, when I was single, I was too picky. When I'm in a relationship, then I'm a sucker for love. So it's like, the caveats with the women, and another thing we talked about, like, I went through the phase where I didn't want to date any black girls. I was like, I'm gonna go overseas. And then the funny thing, I dated Mimi, the Stevie J girl, the Stevie J thing. And she, at that point, was like running from him. He was like stalking her and blah, blah, blah.
Because he's crazy, right?
He's crazy. He's literally crazy. But to get your point with the love and hip hop, I really think, like, a lot of that stuff, we all know as conscious folks that stuff is not right. I think we see a little bit of ourselves, or I guess the women see a little bit of ourselves in those women that they may see. And I think the answer is usually, oh, let's boycott it, we're not gonna do it. But it's so easy to say that and hard to do. Like, nobody will do it, and that's what I can't comprehend. Like, why?
Well, it's here. I think that the conscious people will do it because it's like that sister how it doesn't speak to her spirit. But here's who's really being hurt is our girl. Like, it's really unfair to tell young people to turn off their pop culture. Like, it was the same thing we were talking about. What's happening in lyrics. Like, not every 16-year-old girl wants to listen to Talib Kweli, like, for real. And so to tell them that what's hot in your time, in your generation, it is really unfair to tell them to turn it off. And our girls and brothers can't raise themselves. They need us not to judge them and their because it's become so normal to them. Why should they turn it off? Like, they grew up looking at Flavor of Love and these shows, so it's easy for us in the academy, in the health food stores, and, you know, we support each other in our consciousness. But what about all those girls? And what about all those people like living in the margins too? Like they're the ones that really need us. So it's hard to just say turn off your generation.
And I would say one more thing, is like as far as like adults, if you are, the youth, yeah, that's a whole nother dialogue as far as getting them to not watch it. But as far as supporting each other, it's like, we won't even support each other. Like, you can make a nice, beautiful handbag, but this sister will bust her butt to go get, not you, but will bust her butt to go get a Gucci bag or Louis Vuitton. They all look nice and everything, I'm not saying that, but at the same time, like, why won't you support her business?
So that also too goes back to home or the school, the people who are teachers, or the teachers themselves.
Hi. I'm a professional school counselor, and I counsel middle and high school students. And one direct result that I see is on top of being enamored with handbags and shoes, and secondly, something else that a lot of us probably have different feelings about, secondly, is in the objectification of our various body parts. Okay, so when I look at you all, I can tell I'm getting old now, because I'm like, yeah, that was like 15 years ago. And so I see you as a student. Some of you are still students or just having left being a student, and you're still in the process of transition and deciding who you are. But the mothers of these young women that are in my schools are just as enamored with the shoes and the handbags. And these are professional women. We see examples of that on our reality shows when you have an entertainer, a woman who has gone to school for many years to be a lawyer. We discussed this, and she's objectifying her behind. And what happens is, on top of being enamored with the materialism, then there's another result, and we carry that even now. That was a time where I even considered, let me call and see how much of these butt shots, because everybody's got a behind now, and I know as African Americans, some of us, we naturally have behinds, but there's too many of them now. Oh wow, I'm finding out that we'll pay $7,000 for one, and since that one of the doctors has been highlighted, now we'll pay $10,000 for one. So what happens is, then our young ladies have the